Are we rolling?
We're always rolling.
So, how did we get here? There was no real, in fact, I was told early on in the evolution of MEDATech engineering that there was no market for what we did. And I think today, and maybe that person will see the video, I think today we've proven that that's not the case. And there were definitely times when I was quite concerned that they were right. But I think the key thing is that the things we did, the decisions we made as a company, bringing on more diverse skills in software, hydraulics, control system engineering, along with a really solid foundation in mechanical design, was key. But I think what really differentiates, or what provides MEDATech engineering the opportunities that we have, is our ability to think on our feet and our ability to be so agile and willing to recognize something that's wrong and shift our direction quickly and effectively, and be able to go down another pathway or track efficiently. We are solving problems today that are a magnitude way more grand in complexity than I was doing 23 years ago. I think we, in the mobile equipment world, it's remarkable that there are so many people that know who we are, even outside of mining, which is, to me, a great success. But to get to where we are today versus where we started is really, it's simply the team and the dedication, and over the years of the people that have been here, the people that have been here that have left, the people that have been here that are still here. It's, we've had a lot of great support from some very close friends that allowed us to get through some of the bumpy years. Specifically, I think, great individuals like Kitch Wilson, of course, Don McLean, who knew how skilled we really were, but also knew that I had an ability to see past the technical challenges and visualize a solution. But the ideas that flow and the culture in MEDATech is, I think, the easiest way to put it is it's truly, it's a goofy word that I don't like using, but it's incredibly agile. And when we talk about agile, we talk about, being able to acknowledge that what you're doing isn't working and it's not going to work, and and change directions quickly, or try something and see it fail and quickly turn to in a different direction. But I do want to say that, the company doesn't have a long record of, failures. We've been really successful in our ideas, our innovation capabilities, and doing things right. I think we've got a concept in our business that we say, okay, if we get the prototype 85% there, we've done our job. And that's, for people that have built prototypes and have tried to get from a concept from an idea to a working model, to get it 85% right is not easy. I still really enjoy talking to our clients and new clients and talking about how we can solve their problems and the challenges that it takes from an engineering perspective to do some of the things they want to do. And we've even got our own things, in our own specific lines of equipment that I have personal objectives or personal a passion to achieve before I really retire. And, I think I'm probably looking at the reality that I'm only going to be able to get us partway there in some of these ventures. There's a ton of things that I still want to do in the drilling business and with our drilling technology platform. Robotics, fully autonomous concepts or fully autonomous systems is still in my world front and center, and it's where we want to be, and it's where I want to continue to drive our software and our controls groups in our development of our own IP. And you can throw AI development, AI technology into that, machine learning, whatever term you want to use, but I feel there's great opportunity in the drilling business to exploit all of that. And that's why the drilling division exists. It's because it's what I want to do. So, yeah. Got a long way to go yet.
Can you talk about the electrification and hybrid electrification of mining? Where you see that going, like the past 10 years and the next 10 years?
Well, the past 10 years have been pretty rough road for electrification. We came out of the gate knowing that there were significant challenges both in the existing technology, the existing available power, and the existing approach to management of fleets. All this was going to take a new outlook and a new approach. So, and I still believe that we've only gotten partway there. And I think I do believe if we were all the way there, and I'm not referring to battery technology, I'm talking about power grids, fleet management, strategies on how you transition from diesel to EV, all of that, I believe if we were there, we wouldn't be implementing diesel fleets anymore. And I think, technology is going to continue to change and there's going to be other options. But I do believe, the industry is going to come back. Maybe the industry is taking a breather right now on electrification. But I do believe the need is still there. and I believe the benefits for humanity is still there, and I think the benefits of moving towards EV fleets and autonomous systems go hand in hand, and that's the future of mining. You know, the mission of MEDATech Engineering, it's changed over the years. We've had several mission statements. And today we're kind of working, trying to evolve what we want the next 5 years to look like through to the end of, through to the end of my career, maybe. And I do think it has terms in it like safety, autonomous systems. It has, how we develop equipment for the betterment of mankind. I don't think what we do today is going to change significantly over the next 5 years, but I do believe the technology we're using and the abilities that we have to apply technology is going to significantly change over the next 5 years. Why is the environment or how do you create an environment that'll attract young minds, young, well-educated, whether it be a technologist level or an engineering or a master's or a PhD, whatever. How do you attract the skill you need and be able to develop it in-house? We have had, for a small company, we've had a lot of good success at that. And I'm not going to say that the success is across the board. It's not, but we have definitely had our success. We have several success stories. And some of them are sitting out in that engineering office. But I think what is important is that we don't put young minds in a static environment. We put them in a very dynamic, and admittedly, it can be a very confusing environment if people aren't managed right. But it's an environment where you get exposed to many, many, many things and many different technologies and many different problems. And maybe that's partly kind of comes with the territory, because that's kind of the story of my career. Today I'm not dealing with too many technical challenges. It's more business problems and growth and financial problems. But the engineering group here is still a very young team. We work to find challenges for them, to keep their minds active and to keep them growing. And I don't think that environment's ever going to change here. So that's what you can expect. When I moved to Collingwood, I was moving from Sudbury, where I had spent a year, and prior to that, I had spent 3 or 4 years in northwestern Quebec, working within the mining sector. And Collingwood offered me, a great opportunity at the time at McLean Engineering, and it was the type of lifestyle, outdoor lifestyle, that I wanted to live, and it provided me the small town kind of environment that I had grown up in and was used to. So I was I was really, really quite comfortable here right from the start. And it's changed. It's a different town today than it was, 35 years ago, but it's still a pretty special place. Guy I grew up with in Winnipeg was was a chiropractor in Kitchener, and he and I met up at a football reunion, and his comment was, he was a bit older than I was, and he'd been here longer, but his comment was, if you're going to live anywhere in Ontario, you should probably live in Collingwood.